Welcome back. In our first video of the portrait of a lady, I have described you 3 or 4 paragraphs. This is the second part of the chapter, and we are going to start with the next paragraph. This paragraph I have explained in my last video. This one too. This one too. We have finished that the narrator had started going to university and he had been given a separate room, and this was just gradually ending their friendship. Let's start from the next paragraph. When I decided to go abroad for further studies, I was sure my grandmother would be upset. Now the narrator had decided to go abroad for further studies, and because his grandmother was too old, so he was sure that his grandmother would be upset. I would be away for 5 years. He was also thinking that for 5 years he would have gone, and at her age, one could never tell. And at the age of the grandmother, no one could ever tell that she will survive till or not, till he comes back. But my grandmother could. But somehow, the author was confirmed that his grandmother, being a strong lady, would be able to survive. She was not even sentimental. She was not so much expressive and sentiment. She never had showed her expressions towards anything. She came to leave me at the railway station. When she came to know that her grandchild is going to abroad for 5 years, she came to drop him at the railway station. Why at the railway station? Because he need to go to some airport, and the railway was just a medium to go near the airport. But when she was there at the station, she did not talk or show any emotions for him. Her lips moved in prayer. Still, that time still, she was busy with her prayer. Her mind was lost in prayer. Her mind was completely busy in prayer. Her fingers were busy telling the beads of her rosary as it was the habit of the grandmother. Still, she was occupied with her habit of telling the beads of her rosary. Silently, she kissed my forehead. Silently, she kissed the forehead of the narrator. And when I left, I cherished the moist imprint as perhaps the last sign of physical contact between us. And when he was leaving from there towards the railway, towards his coach, he felt as if it was the last touch of his grandmother over his at his forehead, and maybe he will not be able to see her again. But that was not so. But all his illusions were wrong. After 5 years, I came back home and was met by her at the station. After 5 years, after finishing his studies in abroad, when he came back, again his grandmother was there to receive him at the station. She did not look a day older, as he had already said to us that his grandmother was so terribly old that one more day couldn't be added to that. Again, he found the similarity in her appearance, and she was not looking to him even a day older. She still had no time for words. Still, she was not talking to him. She was not asking him anything. And while she clasped me in her arms and when she hugged him in her arms, I could hear her reciting her prayers. Narrator was able to see, to listen the same voice, and he could feel that still his grandmother was busy in reciting her prayers. Even on the first day of my arrival, her happiest moments were with her sparrows, whom she fed longer and with frivolous rebukes. What did even when the first day of his arrival, when the narrator came back, the happiest moment for the grandmother was what? Still, her happiest moment was with the sparrows, whom she fed longer, whom she kept on feeding for a long time with frivolous means with false rebukes, as if she was just pretending that she was rebuking them, she was scolding them, but in from her inner side she was not rebuking at all. Let's have a look over the word meanings. Sentimental, beads, cherished, moist, imprint, clasped, frivolous, rebuke, light-hearted scolding. Okay, next stanza. In the evening, a change came over her. She did not pray. She collected the women of the neighborhood, got an old drum, and started to sing. For several hours, she thumbed the sagging skins of the dilapidated drum and sang of the homecoming of warriors. In the evening, the day when the narrator came back, in the evening, narrator noticed a change in his grandmother. What was the change? She did not pray. For the first time since last 20 years, he had noticed that his grandmother was not praying. She collected instead what she was doing. She collected the women of the neighborhood. She just called on some ladies from the neighborhood, got an old drum. She managed an old drum and started to sing. She was singing songs. She was not praying. And what sort of songs she was singing? For several hours she thumbed means she was beating. The sagging means the the destroyed or the very thin and very old skin of the dilapidated means uh, dilapidated again is very injured and if the drum was in very bad condition drum, so she was just beating that old and thin skin of the old drum and sang the songs of homecoming of warriors, the welcoming songs which generally being used at the welcome of the warriors when they came back after winning some battle. We had to persuade her, we had to convince her to stop, to avoid overstraining, to stop singing, so that she did not get overstrained, or she did not get any sort of trouble because of her age. So they tried to convince her not to bother herself, not to make her sick by overstraining. That was the first time since I had known her that she did not pray. Author pointed out that it was the first time since he had known his grandmother that she was not praying. The next morning she was taken ill. It was natural because of overstrain, because of tiredness, exertion. She got ill. It was a mild fever, and the doctor told us that it would go. The doctor told them that it was just a mild fever because of her age and it would go. But my grandmother thought differently. But the thinking of the grandmother was quite different. She told us that her end was near, as if she had some intuition that her end was near, so she just told the family member of Kushwant Singh that her end was near. She said that since only a few hours before the close of the last chapter of her life she had omitted to pray, she was not going to waste any more time talking to us. She said to the narrator and her family members that since only a few hours before the close, as if she was considering this illness as the last moment of her life, so she just requested her family members to leave her alone because she wanted to regret that she left praying, and again she wanted to switch to her prayers one more time, and she didn't want to waste her time in talking to the family members. The important words of the paragraph: thumped, hitting, sagging, sinking downwards, dilapidated in a state of despair or ruin, that bad one, persuade, overstraining, omitted. Next stanza. We protested. Now the narrator and his family members, his mother, we protested, but she ignored our protest. We tried to protest, that we tried to convince her not to sing anything, not to do prayer, just have a rest, but she ignored our requests. She lay peacefully in bed. She just lie down peacefully in the bed, praying and telling her beads. She again started praying God and telling her beads. even before we could suspect, and even before the family member could have a suspect over her condition, her lips stopped moving. The lips of the grandmother stopped moving, and the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers. And the rosary, which she used to keep always with her, fell from her lifeless fingers. Her fingers became lifeless. A peaceful pallor spread on her face, and we knew that she was dead. A peaceful pallor, a peaceful yellow, a sense or reflection of satisfaction and contentment was there over the face of the grandmother, and we knew that she was dead. She was no more. It seems as if just she was just waiting for her grandmother to come back. She was just holding her breath to see her grandson for the last time. And his, after watching him, she just asked God that now she is ready to come go to him. We lifted her off the bed and, as is customary, laid her on the ground and covered her with a red shroud. We lifted her, they lifted the body of the grandmother from the bed, and as it was a custom, they make her lie down on the ground and covered her with a red cloth. After a few hours of mourning, means they wept for few hours, as it was the custom, they kept on doing mourning. We left her alone to make arrangements for her funeral. Then they just left the body of the grandmother alone, as they needed to make some arrangement for her funeral ceremony. In the evening, we went to her room with a crude stretcher to take her to be cremated. In the evening, after doing the arrangements for her cremation, they went to her room with a stretcher to take her to be cremated, to take her to do the last ceremony with her body. The sun was setting and had lit her room and veranda with a blaze of golden light. The sun was setting. Narrator noticed that it was the time when the sun was just setting down, and that glow, that light of the setting sun, had lighted the room of the grandmother and the veranda with a blaze, with a light, with a reflection, with the rays of golden light. We stopped halfway. We need to stop halfway. We had to stop halfway in the courtyard. We means the narrator and the other members had to stop in the courtyard. What was there? What stopped them? All over the veranda and in her room, right up to where she lay dead and stiff wrapped in the red shroud, thousands of sparrows sat scattered on the floor. Why the narrator had to stop? Because he and along with him all the members who were present there, they had noticed what, that the entire of the veranda and the room where she was lying dead was filled with thousands of sparrows who were scattered on the floor. There was no chirping, but this time the sparrows were not making any sort of noise. We felt sorry for the birds, and my mother faced some bread for them. We were feeling very sorry for all the birds because they could not tell the birds that their owner or their friend was no more to feed them now. So the mother of the narrator went inside and brought some breads for them. She broke it into little crumbs. The mother of the narrator broke up all the breads into little crumbs. She just made the crumbs the way my grandmother used to, in the same manner as the grandmother used to do, and threw it to them. And the mother threw all the breadcrumbs to the sparrows. The sparrows took no notice of the bread, but then sparrows were so intelligent, they could guess what wrong had been going on in the house, so they just did not even notice the bread. When we carried my grandmother's corpse and when they carried away the dead body of the grandmother, they flew away quietly. All the sparrows just flew away silently from the place. The sparrows just left the place immediately as they took off the body of the grandmother. Next morning, the sweeper swept the breadcrumbs into the dustbin, and next morning, the sweeper was there who had to he had to collect all the breadcrumbs and throw them into the dustbin. It shows that the dumb sparrows even could understand, even could feel what had happened in the house, and it was their way to pay tribute, it was their way to pay their sorrow, or to express their sorrows that they did not touch the food given to them by the mother of the narrator. Here are the important words: protested, pallor, customary, crude, cremated, blaze, shroud, corpse. I hope you have understood the chapter. If you have any doubt, you can write to me. Thank you. Have a nice day.